Hi, it's happening. Hey, y'all. Cynthia, Jen, Meep Moop Meep One, Daniela, Cecile, Freya. Thank you all for leaving little comments because it shows me that people are here and it's actually working. We just started. Okay, here's what's happening. I am just going to put makeup on. I have a specific inspiration that I'll tell you about in a minute. I have the new Aaron's Faces lip gloss that just launched, and I'm really excited to be able to put it on camera and tell you about it because it's amazing. And I have another sort of something that's timely that I just wanted to talk to you about today. So I decided to do a live. It's Friday. It's really, really hot in Los Angeles, and I don't know, I'm feeling like going live. But I have a couple things on the agenda, but I also want to hang out. I'm going to try to do better at this during this live, at not worrying so much about filling the airtime all the time so that I can like read some comments and respond to you. But first things first, my lips are dry as a bone. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the lip gloss. They sent it to me in this shade Early Glow, which is like a sheer glittery one, and it's so good. It's really shiny and it smells like real strawberries. Like it's not a fake thing. It smells like a real fruit smoothie, which is the name of the thing. So I've just been, it came a couple of days ago and the launch was yesterday, and I've been wearing it nonstop. And I was just like, I gotta hop on the live and tell everyone because it launched yesterday and I think that people are curious about it. So I'm gonna read comments and put on this gloss and you're gonna see how fierce it is. It's like I've never smelled a lip gloss that smells as not fake, that it has as real of a smell. Fruit, vanilla, whatever it is. This one happens to be fruit. I don't tend to like fruit lip glosses, but this one, it's like a sugared strawberry smoothie, like a real smoothie, and it's good. Hi, everybody. Yes, exactly. You got to get the lip glow up to the level of the face glow. As always, I'm putting the gloss like up to here. This is what I'm into these days. I like looking like I just made out with a monster made of lip gloss. And it's like all over my face. Like that's the look that I'm going for. And that's what we have on today. All right. Let me tell you about my inspiration. Do you guys know about Alyssa's Secret on Wow Presents? It's Alyssa Edwards, like an iconic drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race. And years ago, she had a show on Wow Presents called Alyssa's Secret. That it was like a spinoff from a silly thing that had happened in one of her episodes of Drag Race. And the show then ended. Like, I don't think there's been a new episode of Alyssa's Secret in years. But I recently re-remembered it and I went back and started watching all the old episodes. They're from like 2014. It was like 2014, 15, 16 was the heyday of Alyssa's Secret. And they're just the most elevating, the silliest, and also most heartwarming and just absolute best thing. It's just like direct manna from the gods. I mean, this is like the ultimate in what's cheering me up right now. You're getting like an updated report right now on what's cheering me up right now. I'm overdue for that. I need to film another one soon. But currently right now, literally today and yesterday, what's cheering me up right now is that I remembered that it's been so long since I watched all the episodes of Alyssa's Secret. I remembered that it's been so long that I've forgotten all the details. So I'm going back and watching them all again, and it's the greatest. It's the absolute greatest. Yes, back rolls. So I'm trying to deliver on my promise to attempt to read the comments and check in with the comments, but yes. Girl, look how orange you look. Yeah, so here's the makeup inspo. really early episodes of Alyssa's Secret, Alyssa Edwards was really into this like really overlined, super dramatic black eyeliner that goes all the way around. And then like these sculpted eyes that have then white on the lid. So it's kind of like a classic black and white, super big eyes drag look, but a little bit softer than that, especially back in 2014. The thing that really struck me was this sort of Bridget Bardot, like overlined black. And the last time I did something like that was when I did my Bimini Bamboo Lash inspired look. But with the Bimini look, who's also a drag queen, the Bimini look, it was like kind of a full beat. And Alyssa's version of that, it's a little bit more glossy. The cheeks will be really pink and the lips will be like this really glossy, really juicy pink. And so it's like a little bit more, I don't know, wearable. It's just like a different take on that. So it looks very dated, but in watching these early episodes of Alyssa's Secret, I've been seeing that look come up again and again. And I'm just like, I just want to do that, but I want to do it on a day when it's like for fun, like casual, wearable, really just as if it's the thing that I do, to smudge a ton of black makeup all into my eyeliner and eyes and eyelashes and just like smudge black makeup all over. And then everything else on the face, just pretty fresh and neutral and glossy. So that's what we're gonna do today. And I don't really have, I don't have time to film a video. So I'm not actually even prepping to film with this makeup. I'm just doing this thing for fun. And then I'm just gonna be like, taking care of the baby and like hanging out and doing stuff for the rest of the day and cooking. So it's going to be definitely like for day. So the first thing I'm going to do is to take this Perversion pencil from Urban Decay and smudge it all around my eyes. This is like the cornerstone of this look. And I'm actually hoping it won't take that long. Like I'm pretending that I don't have, well, it's not really pretending that I don't have that much time because I don't have that much time, but I'm pretending that I'm a person who's getting ready for the day. And this is the makeup I do every day. And so I have to be able to kind of do it quickly. Like I'm pretending this is my look. Okay. That's what we're doing here. We're pretending that. I'm just checking in with you all. Hi, Alex. Hi, Christine. What am I planning to cook? I can't remember what's on. This is my COVID brain. Like I make the menu every week. I plan out 3 meals. And so I did it on last Sunday and I can't actually remember what it is. I have all the ingredients for it. I know it's going to be yummy, but I actually can't remember what's on the menu. Maybe at some point I can check my like schedule before this live is over. But for now, I need to put this onto my eyes. And I'm going to tell you, Dylan says, what do you think of the new Rowan quad? I haven't seen it. This is the first I've heard of it. Okay. Red alert, red alert. Drop my dolly in the dirt. Sorry, this is the most boring moment in a live when the person starts searching. Mood forever? Wait, is there a new Rowan quad? Or are you talking about the 1111? Where would I find this information? Somebody enlighten me. Well, should I look on Instagram or something? Oh my goodness. Everybody knows except me. Rowan mood forever. And someone else is asking in the comments what I think about the Rowan founder leaving the company. And it's funny, I've been meaning to mention this on YouTube. Okay, first reaction, it doesn't excite me because it looks the same spiritually as the 1111. Like it looks kind of, I just feel like I have all of these shades in Rowan shadows already by mixing the other 3 quads together. So it doesn't, I feel like they just haven't really done anything new. And sorry, I keep skipping around. I did watch Nikki Giroux's Instagram post, IGTV or something, about why she was leaving the company. And it did kind of cool me off about Rowan. Like, I do feel like she was what made it really exciting. And it didn't make me want to like cancel Rowan or like make an expose video about them or something like that. But it did, like, when it was after that the lip glosses released. And I think that the fact that she had left the company is probably why I never was interested in the lip glosses and never tried them. I think that it was just the other investors in the company have like taken it over and put it in someone else's hands. And I'm not saying that like the quality is tanked or anything like that, because I don't know. I haven't tried anything from them since that happened. But the fact that my interest waned showed me that much of my excitement around the brand had to do with my knowledge that there was this really brilliant, talented person at the helm. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll follow the future career of that palette with a modicum of interest, but I don't know yet whether I'll try it. I have to start putting makeup on my face. Okay. Oh, Rosa says, Rowan said on Instagram that the texture is different, glowier and less glittery. That sounds bad to me. I mean, glowy is great, but to me, that sounds like what it is, like creamy without the texture. And so it seems like it would be more likely to crease and less likely to look fierce. All right, I'm putting this on and I'm going to tell you the other timely thing that I have to tell you, which is that the compassion class is starting again. And I'm not going to go on at length about it because I have already. I've like raved about this thing a bajillion times. And so those of you who watch a lot of my content and aren't interested in taking the compassion immersion class, you're probably like, please stop talking about it, because you've heard me talk about it and you've already made your decision not to do it, which is totally fine. But, you know, it's this thing where she teaches it, my friend Julia, and not the Julia that I live with, but another very old, very dear friend who's brilliant. She teaches it every 2 months. And so if you miss the boat, if you're interested in it and you miss the boat at the beginning, it's like you have to wait 2 months before the class comes around again. And the boat is leaving the harbor tomorrow. Tomorrow, May 1st, Saturday, May 1st, is the first class of the next series, the compassion immersion. So I've linked it below this video, just in case anyone's out there. If you've heard me talk about it, but the timing hasn't been right, and you know, you've been wanting to know when the next one started, but you just, you know, I'm just letting you know. I'm telling you, I'm going to do it every time. I'm going to let you guys know every time. This is so soft that I've like used it down to the bone and it's starting to scrape my eyes. So if you haven't heard me talk about the compassion class before, I'll just briefly say it's, you know, it's taught by this brilliant friend of mine. She's really good at translating ideas about the spirit into language that one can understand and apply. And it really did. I took the class over the winter, and it really has changed me. It's really helped me get on the path that I wanted to be on in terms of how I treat myself, how I approach my life and my goals. And so I just want to share it because I feel really grateful that I took it. And she has made the sliding scale much easier to do. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of a bit of money if you pay for it full price, but she has a sliding scale. And it used to be that you had to like email her to take advantage of the sliding scale, but now you can just register using the sliding scale. So that's new and it's exciting. Oh, interesting. Thanks for asking about my poetry, Transcendental Thorns. Transcendental Thorn says, hello, was wondering how your poetry may have been affected by the compassion class, if any. And actually, it's a really difficult question for me to answer because I feel like my writing practice and my work as a writer has been marked and will probably be forever changed by the pandemic. And so it's a little bit hard to know what of the changes, like what's coming from this shift in perspective that has come from taking this class and what's coming from just the shift in perspective that's come from this year. In a way, they're difficult to separate because I feel like I took the class because of this year, and my way of interacting with the materials have to do also with the way in which the pandemic has changed me. So yeah, it's just, I mean, I think that in terms of actual artistic craft, the answer has to do with a letting go of control, a letting go of the vice grip on your surroundings. So, and when you're a person in the world and you're also an artist making work, when you start to change the obsessive way in which you interact with like other people or with your like your daily routine or whatever, when you start to change those things, inevitably it kind of trickles down and changes the way you interact with the work that you're making. So that is happening to me. It's just I'm right in the middle of it right now. It's really hard to like report back about any takeaways, but I do feel like that was a very astute question. So thank you. All right, this is a mess. I need to be like, I kind of feel like I'm never going to get my makeup done while we're doing that. Where did I get this robe? I got it from an Etsy seller who then promptly closed up shop. So I don't know if I can link it. I'm really hoping that the shop will open again. And I will circle back to telling you about this robe in a YouTube video. All right, we're just doing it. We're just going overboard. But yeah, I just found out. I just realized yesterday that the shop has closed, and I was like, sad. I won't be able to link my robe. Okay. This is what we're starting with. I got to go in with a brush. No, I've got to go in my fingers and with this Victoria Beckham business. I have totally failed to behave as though I'm a person who does this kind of makeup every day and doesn't have that much time because I got distracted by questions about my poetry. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna need to focus for a second, y'all. All right, now I'm gonna blend this out. So far, this is looking very like the Bimini look. So I actually feel like even though that was supposed to be my wearable Bimini, I feel like this is actually what I'm trying to do is like a quicker, smudgier, more wearable, more everyday version of that. Kind of like if that were my everyday makeup with like, bananas, smudgy stuff. So I feel like I have said all that I came to say. Let's talk about things. Ask me more questions or tell me like what's cheering you up right now or something. I have watched more television in the past month than I usually watch. Hi, Simbri. Oh, Faye says, will there be any overhead video soon? Actually, I'm hoping. I've had it in the back of my mind to get overhead on the calendar. What would you like to see? Let me know what you'd like to see in the overhead position. Because when I get the camera up there, I like to put the camera up there when I have like 3 or 4 ideas and then like film them all at once before putting it back. So we're going for like Bridget Bardot did her makeup like in the back of a cab, kind of. I feel like that's what we're doing today on a really hot day in Los Angeles. Getting there. I'm going to put some of this Victoria Beckham stuff underneath my eyes and smudge it out too. Oh yeah, revisit of my most extraordinary shadows. A sewing video, I can't because everything's in storage. I think I do have a straight stitch machine here stored in the garage, but I haven't gotten it out. But like my big machines are in storage. I see you guys saying you want to see. Here's a question. Would you want to see like just like all my makeup in one video overhead style? but not swatched. Because if I tried to film that with swatching, it would take a really long time. Mostly because of the cleaning part. It's like the part you always cut out of swatch videos where you're like cleaning off your hand. But it would just be like this long, interminable, extremely messy thing. And I would get like a quarter of the way in, and then I would be like, I wish I hadn't agreed to do this. But what if it was just like showing makeup overhead, but like a ton of makeup, one piece after another? Like, would people watch that? I've thought about doing that before. Full inventory video. I mean, I guess I did do it inventory style kind of at the end of last year, but I'm thinking of more of like a just like soft, chatty, talking about it. And obviously I would, I think, end up swatching some like for fun, but not like setting out to swatch everything, but just kind of like hanging out with my makeup. You guys would be into that? All right. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I I fall into this thing where I feel like I just did that. You know what I mean? Because I did the makeup inventory at the end of last year. And so I'm worried that people are going to be like, you still have all the same stuff, which I mostly do. And it's like, why not just this other video? But I love watching YouTube videos that resemble other YouTube videos from the same person that I've watched before. I just somehow can't apply that to my own decision-making process. All right, I feel like what's happening is that I'm starting to get fussy with this. It's like Bridget Bardot did her makeup in the back of the cab, and then she got where she was going and she squirreled herself away in the bathroom and started obsessing over the lines. And that's not what Bridget would have done, I feel. And so I feel like I need to just leave it, maybe just smudge out the bottom a little more. But this is what, okay, I need to smudge out the bottom, and then I have to add the thing that Alyssa has, which is the matte white on the lid. Yeah. Custom palettes themed by poems or paintings. That's a great idea. Custom palette, that could go on forever. You know what I mean? I feel like Dirty Marie Antoinette, yes. Yeah, so a lot of you are saying like singles based on a certain theme, more custom palette, more of that kind of thing. I feel like I could do that endlessly. So that's a good idea. Any theme ideas, like poems and paintings? I see you saying anything else? Like any inspiration, specific inspiration? Okay, this has definitely gotten like crazy messy. Let's add the matte white and see how it goes. I feel like I'm having one of those moments that you have in real life where like you're hanging out with your friends and doing your makeup and you just care way more about what your friends are saying and doing than you do about how your makeup ends up looking. So you just kind of it ends up messy and it's totally fine, and then you go out and you have a really good time. That's what I feel like is happening right now. But I feel like that does align with the inspo. Oh, Greek mythology, iconic movie themed palette. That's a good idea. A Klimt painting, that's a really good idea I mean, yeah, I could do that. All right, I'm adding this matte white from the Persona Identity. It's not even white. It's like a pale cream. I'm just adding it to the lid. This is also because I'm putting this matte over this kind of like shimmery, sort of wet shadow. It's making it look very kind of like crusty in real life, kind of like crusty and smoky. But I feel like that's the vibe. Like this is it's like mastery of applying makeup freshly and having it immediately look like it's been on for 12 hours. Like that I feel is what I'm doing over here. Or it's what I'm working on developing a mastery of. Let me tell you. Let me let me preview for you a really bananas video that's going to go up on my channel soon. That is going to reveal to the world what a nutcase I actually am. There is something I've been wanting to do. Lauren says, have you ever read In the Eye of the Sun? No, I'm going to remember that. And Mary's asking if I'm sewing for myself or as a hobby these days. No, because my machines are all in storage. I've been wanting to get that one out of the garage if I can, but I don't know. It's hard to find the space and the time. I'm going in with this shimmery thing. And it's also, I think it's hard to find the space and the time. And I think there's also something about the fact that like I used to have a whole studio. You know what I mean? Like I used to have this space, all these machines, all my fabric. I used to have a space that was perfect for sewing and that I could really spread my wings in. And that space got entirely dismantled when the pandemic hit and we had to move out of that space and almost everything went into storage. All the fabric was like given away. And so I don't really feel like it. Like I don't really feel like sewing these days. You know what I mean? It's like I don't really feel like working really hard to carve out a corner of this place, this space, to force it to happen because this place isn't hospitable to that. It's not like I'm in a space that's inhospitable. You know what I mean? But it's like it's not flowing, you know, and I'm not fighting it. So I feel like at some point in the future, sewing will come back to me, and it'll flow back, and then that'll be great. But for the time being, it's not happening. And I feel like I'm like really not focused on my makeup. Thank you. Thank you, Artie, for saying that you love out shaping up. I feel like I'm really, really living my best, like hot mess life over here today on my eyes. But it's good for me. It's good for me. So this is the kind of thing that when I'm doing it, I'm always like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? And then like half an hour later, I catch sight of myself in the mirror and I'm like, this is the best I've ever looked. Oh, but I didn't tell you about my totally insane video that's coming up soon on my channel. It is me putting on makeup and just talking through it. But the entire video is all in iambic pentameter, improvised. It's just me, just like this, talking. But I talk, that's all it is. I speak in iambic pentameter for the entire thing. Improvised iambic pentameter makeup tutorial. Coming soon to Hannah-Lee's Poston YouTube channel. Keep an eye out. It's something I've always wanted to do. And then the other day I was like, I'm going to do it. And I did it. It came out a little bit awkward at the beginning. Like it didn't end up being very long. It ended up being like 12 or 13 minutes long when I finished editing it. And so for the first like 1 or 2 minutes, it's a little awkward because I'm like getting into the groove. But then I get into the groove and I'm like, you wouldn't know if I hadn't told you. Like I'm just talking. But I know, and you'll know that it's an iambic pentameter. But yeah, it was a real gas. And as soon as I finished it, I was like, when can we do this? Like, how soon can I do that again? How often can I do that? Like, how much iambic pentameter will people brook on my YouTube channel? So this is a mascara that was sent to me for testing before it went onto the market, and I don't know what it is. It was like sent blind to me, and just in exchange for me giving some feedback on it, because I think that they're developing it. And like, I literally don't even know what brand has made it, and it hasn't been launched yet, but I really, really like it. So it's very gunky and like bananas, and that's why I'm using it for today's look. And I've had it for a while. I don't know. I thought that by this time they would have like released it and I would find out the tea, but I haven't yet. I feel like it would be just like me to stick mascara into my eyes while I was doing a live and have it like running all over the place. Oh, so people are asking, I see asking about what iambic pentameter is. Yes, Marta, Joe was like, how can you put it on your eyes when you don't know what's in it? But it's just the company that connected me to it, I do trust. You know what I mean? Like I trust that it's not like it just came in the mail. It was done in an official way that made me know that like I think it's gonna launch in Sephora. You know what I mean? Like so I thought about it, but I decided not to be sketched out or worried about it. I think it's legit. Okay, I look a real mess, but I don't care. Oh, Mary's asking, does your love of poetry translate into favorite rapper artists of yours? That's such a good question. I'm very like I've always wished that I'd done it, that I would do, and maybe I will at some point do like a more thorough and deeper dive into the world of hip hop and rap. I have my favorite songs and some favorite artists that I've listened to a ton of. Like I've been listening to A Tribe Called Quest since I was like in high school. And so I've listened to like everything a million times, and I have like a very thorough relationship with that music. And I love that music. But I haven't done that. I haven't like done as deep and as broad of a survey and gotten to develop that relationship with as many artists in that genre as I would like. But I do have like a number of songs that I've listened to over and over and over again and come to really love. And lately, a couple of them are by Nicki Minaj. I'm just like so blown away by her talent as a vocalist and like a writer of rhythm, musical language, and the intelligence of her like snark and charisma, like the way that it is intelligent, and like the particular brand of it I'm really into right now. So I have like, yeah, that's lately been the thing that's been the most exciting for me in music, in metered music. All right, I have to complete this business. How are we doing? Okay, I haven't really like looked at myself from a distance, and I think that if I were gonna fuss with this, like if I were gonna film, I'd try to blend it a little more. I would put more darkness in the outer corner, which I might actually do. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit. I'm using a matte black shadow, the one from the Persona palette. I'm just gonna pop it in the outer corner just to add a little bit more contrast. But I'm doing it messily, don't worry. I'm doing it in a wonky way. And then I'm gonna put something on my cheeks. See what a difference that makes? This is especially with hooded eyes, I feel. Like, I just feel like just by making the outer corner a little bit darker, even though it's subtle and the whole look is such crazy business, I just created the illusion that my eyes are much bigger than they are, and that there's more depth, and that they're more round than they are. Just that little bit of touch. That's like my top tip for hooded eyes. So Let me clean up the fallout and put a little color in my cheeks. How's it going, everyone? Oh, Lauryn Hill. Who brought up Lauryn Hill? Yes, just yes, okay. I was 100% raised on The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, that album. That's one of my like OG, probably like top 5 to 10 of all time, kind of. Yeah, definitely. The Blueprint. Yeah. A chimney sweep from Mary Poppins. Yes. Yes, Jane. Jane says, I love this eye look so much. I'm inspired to go out of my comfort zone and try it tomorrow. Faye asks, have you decided on your next self-sponsored review? Yeah, I am. I'm still working. Well, yes, the Fenty Ease Drop I decided to review. I've been struggling with it a little bit because my skin's really dry and it's just been looking terrible on me. It's like no matter what I do, it looks terrible. And I finally got to the point where I was like, I have to just film the review and say that I've really struggled with this. And I feel like no matter what I do, it looks terrible. And so I did film the review, but I'm sort of second guessing myself because I'm worried that the reason that it looks terrible is that my skin is really dry. My regular base products that I love, I have been getting them to look. I've been struggling with them a little bit more than usual, but I can still make them look good. Like it's not as though no matter what I do, it looks terrible. But I'm also aware that my skin is just a little bit more on the struggle bus right now than it usually is. And so I'm worried that that has impacted the review. So I'm a little bit, I edited the review. I'm going to post it soon. And I'm just feeling a little bit like I might need to write a caveat, pin a comment with a caveat, just saying like, you know, my skin is really, really quite dry. So I'm a little bit, that is coming, but I'm having feelings about it, as you can tell. And I'm also going to review the Salt New York creams. I'm currently testing them and I haven't filmed that yet, but it's coming soon. Like with the Fenty, the Ease Drop, for example, let me just kind of explain to you. I filmed really close-up footage of myself applying it to my face on a day when I had prepped my skin the best that I could. I had even done some exfoliating just to get that dry skin off. I had moisturized, I had primed, filmed some close-up footage just so you can see what I mean about how I can't get it to look good. But then when I reviewed the footage, I was feeling like, but is this fair? Because my skin is just so incredibly extra dry right now, partly because of the weather and partly because I'm adjusting to tretinoin a little bit. But yeah, I feel like I didn't give enough of a caveat in the video when I was talking about how dry my skin is. So I might have to pin it in a comment. But the Salt New York creams have been treating me really well, and that is super exciting. Okay, I'm gonna put my heat rash on. This is something I can't stop using. This blush from Samantha's Ofra palette. It's called The Six. And when was the last time in my life that I couldn't stop using a powder cheek product? Like 2018. I'm doing this without looking because yes, Jason says it would be good to know for people who have dry skin to know how it applies. I agree. I mean, ultimately, yeah, I feel like even if my skin was at its least dry, I feel like it still wouldn't be working for me. And so it's good to be able to share that. It's just hard. Like it's different when you're just talking casually about something and you're like, oh, this is how this is going for me. That's different. I feel like when you do a full on review where you're like, this is my, oh my gosh, I just caught sight of myself. I've gone overboard. Where you're like, this is my final answer. You know, when you do that, you just want to make sure that you're being completely fair, that everything, all your bases are covered, that you've accounted for everything. You know what I mean? It's just like a little more of a high stress situation. Okay. It's getting always happens actually with this exact product. When I start applying it, it seems like I've gone overboard, and then I just keep blending and blending and spreading and spreading, and it shears out into this almost translucent looking, really glowy, very natural looking flesh. It's so shiny that it looks like a cream. Don't you think that looks kind of like it was probably a cream? But you saw it. It was a powder. Yeah. Yes, yes. Okay, so ML is saying I have very dry skin, and I think a lot of people say they have really dry skin, but actually don't. So I'd really appreciate the review to know what it's like on dry skin. So this is the thing. I do have dry skin, but I think because I moisturize so obsessively and do a lot of chemical exfoliation, in normal times, even though I have dry skin, I'm always keeping it just at bay. So I'm always saying, I have dry skin, I have dry skin. But I actually think that in normal times, I can get away with a lot of stuff that people who have truly dry skin would struggle with. And I feel like right now, as my skin's adjusting to tretinoin with the Curology formula, I have truly dry skin to the point where it's like there's a whole slew of products that just don't work for me because my skin's so dry. And so that's the state in which I'm giving this review of Venti Eavesdrop. Okay, I'm gonna need to stop soon, y'all. Like wet clay, yes. All right. This is, I feel like if somebody didn't know my gig, like didn't know my situation with what I like and the fact that I'm not trying to have my eyes look symmetrical or look freshly applied. You know what I mean? If someone didn't know that I'm basically trying to look like my eye look like a drag queen that like just got done for the night. You know what I mean? Like if someone didn't know that that was what I was going for and they clicked on this live and saw me over here like applying this really shiny blush like this, they would be like, how is this person like a beauty YouTuber? Like how did this person like even get a single subscriber? But that's fine, you know, all y'all do know what the deal is. I'm gonna finish by reapplying the Aaron's Faces lip gloss, which I put on right at the beginning. I do feel like it's perfect, right? I've gotten the look to the place I was describing. This is, if you weren't here at the beginning, inspired by Alyssa Edwards, like Alyssa Edwards on YouTube filming Alyssa's Secret circa 2014. And it's all very like glossy pink. She tends to do the cool toned pinks. I'm leaning more into like this peachy pink because the cool toned pinks don't look as good on me. So, but really, really shiny pink lips, really, really shiny pink cheeks, and then this kind of super grunged up, did it in the back of the cab on the way to the event kind of eye look. So that's why this is the finishing touch, the super glossy gloss. Although it hasn't budged, has it? I've been talking this whole time. And it really hasn't budged. And I will also, yes, Allison says you're too hard on yourself. This look is retirement goals, gorgeous robe, and a voice and makeup. This is gonna be me. Like, yeah, this is gonna be me. This is me now, and this is gonna be me. And I'm gonna end by again reminding you that the compassion class is starting again tomorrow. The link is in the description box below. And you know, if you're out there and it's sort of been nagging at you and you kind of keep remembering, if it feels like me bringing it up again and again is like a little scratching at the door, maybe consider that this might be the time. It is much, the long-term work ends up being, you know, something that will open the heart, and there's always a challenge to that. But the practical work of taking the class, just showing up and listening once a week for an hour, is very easy. So consider it. That's all I'm saying. Click through, consider it. I'm going to go. Thank you for being here with me during this chaotic makeup application. It has ended up being exactly what I was going for. I feel like the fact that it is smudgy and it's not symmetrical makes it feel more okay for the everyday. Like I just did this rather than it being kind of like this mask that I put on that you like can't touch for fear of disturbing. You know what I mean? I feel like I'll be able to just live my life in this. Um, Cynthia, Abby, Natalie, Christine, Nicolina, Rosalie, Cecile, Simbri. You're all the people I can see in the comments right now. Jason and everyone. Thank you. Thanks for watching and commenting. I appreciate you being here. And you know what I'm going to say? Don't forget to take extra good care of yourself today so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.